Leaning on its decade-long legacy of sports car manufacturing, Porsche imbues each of its vehicles, including the 2025 Cayenne, with a fun-to-drive nature that's hard for rivals to match. And while this isn't a complete redesign, as its underlying structure and components carry over from the third generation, it's more than the usual mid-cycle refresh. Taking a page out of other car makers' book, Genesis made a sportier alternative to the GV80 SUV in the form of the GV80 Coupe, rocking a sportier fastback roofline and a more aggressive design. But can the GV80 actually compete against the Cayenne? Well, in this video, we'll compare both SUVs' designs inside and out, pricing, and how they drive. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. Exterior differences between the 2023 model and its replacements are slight, as is often the case with Porsche. The tweaked front fascia incorporates a new look with a reworked front with larger air intakes, more prominent fenders, and a subtle hood bulge. The front headlights have also been redesigned to emphasize the car's width. The side profile remains unchanged and is characterized by a sweeping roofline that slopes gently towards the rear, creating a coupe-like silhouette. Out back, thin, full-width LED stripes comprise the taillights, which have an exposed three-dimensional appearance for more visual interest. And the regular 2024 Cayenne moves the license plate from the hatch to a reshaped rear bumper that integrates exhaust outlets and diffuser elements, further emphasizing its sporty character. The Genesis design team churns out one stunning product after another, and the GV80 Coupe is no exception, implementing the brand's split headlights and shield-shaped grille with a dramatic roofline and wider taillights with virtually identical dimensions to the Cayenne. The signature quad-line headlights use slightly softer shapes, and their extremely slim design stands in contrast to the Cayenne's boxy ones. The side profile features a shoulder line that extends from the hood cut to the taillights with a fillet of chrome to break up the lower bodywork. One downside is that there are only two wheel sizes with identical designs, so if you don't like them, you are out of luck. The tailgate is cleaned with sharp lines and uses an aggressive angle for the rear glass, highlighting its fastback roofline. Real quad exhaust tips poke out of the bumper, rounding out what is a really handsome, distinctive design. Overall, both SUVs are very good looking in their own rights, but if I had to choose, the GV80 Coupe's sleeker looks wins it for me here, even if by a very slim margin. Jumping inside, the GV80 Coupe's interior is a classy joint, all soft-touch materials and clean flowing lines. A wide, mostly unadorned dashboard houses a massive 27-inch OLED display right on top, and the two-spoke steering wheel is now replaced by a new three-spoke wheel that feels more at home than the previous one. The high center console and well-placed door panel armrests create a cozy front row, with abundant accent lighting creating two distinctive spaces for driver and passenger. A thin strip of metallic trim hides the center and passenger side climate control vents, under which lies a sloping HVAC panel that flows into the center console. As for infotainment, you will be happy to know that the massive landscape-style 27-inch screen is standard on all trims. The latest user interface is easy to understand, though the touchscreen might be hard to reach for some. Thankfully, there is a rotary dial on the center console to easily access the menus. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard. As for Porsche, if you've spent time in a Porsche Taycan, then you will feel right at home in the Cayenne. Nearly everything you see and touch is new, except the twin grab handles on the center console. The instrument panel is now all digital and includes 7 design options. That includes a traditional 5-gauge layout, but the information presented isn't further customizable. The new climate controls are clearly a response to complaints about Porsche's previous layouts. The new concept is a neat row of physical toggles bordered above and below by touch-sensitive icons, which makes it far easier to use without looking. It also does without the Taycan's ridiculous touchscreen-controlled air vents. One thing, however, is because they needed to make room for that neat array of climate controls on the center console, the old shift knob was removed in favor of the Taycan's dash-mounted toggle shifter. Overall, both the quality and seating position in the Cayenne are slightly superior to that in the GV80 Coupe. As for infotainment, the 12.3-inch touchscreen features the latest Porsche communication management system that's more colorful than the previous gen, with icons easier to differentiate at a glance. The screen in front of the passenger does all the same things that the center screen does, with the ability to watch streaming video content during a drive. As for passenger and cargo space, the Genesis is very comfortable with nice cushy seats, and thanks to a long 116.3-inch wheelbase, there is more than enough room for both driver and front passenger. The second row slides and reclines to a surprising 22 degrees and offers one of the best legroom figures in its class. As for cargo space, the GV80 Coupes is very generous. Behind the second row, you get 30.3 cubic feet, fold them flat, and you get a massive 62.1 cubes of space. As for Porsche, you will find the Cayenne's interior quite roomy. Most of the controls are within reach thanks to a wide range of adjustability in the driver's seat. Rear passengers will be comfortable as well since there is plenty of space even behind tall drivers, though it provides slightly less legroom than the GV80 Coupe. As for cargo space, the Cayenne's boot is smaller than that of the Genesis across the board, boasting 27.2 cubic feet. Fold the seats down and you get 60.3 cubes. When it comes to pricing, the base Cayenne starts at $85,000 and comes standard with a 12.3-inch touchscreen, LED headlights and taillights, and 20-inch alloy wheels. We recommend adding the Premium Package Plus since it adds panoramic roof, 4-zone climate-controlled, ventilated seats up front, and heated seats at the rear. The Cayenne e-Hybrid starts at $97,000, but if you want the most performance out of your Porsche, then the Cayenne S with its twin-turbo V8 is the one to go for at $101,000. Genesis has not forgotten how to offer its customers good value. There is only one trim level and it starts at $80,000, and while it costs the same as the base Cayenne, it comes packed with premium features such as heated and ventilated front and rear seats, Bang & Olufsen audio system, a head-up display, and a massive 27-inch OLED screen. You can get a more powerful model with an electric supercharger and some larger wheels for $85,750. In terms of bang for the buck alone, the GV80 Coupe blows the Cayenne out of the water. But how do they compare when they hit the road? Now, when you hit the road, the GV80 Coupe's powertrain is refined and masterfully executed. It's offered with two engine options: a twin-turbocharged 3.5-liter V6 that makes 375 horsepower in base form, but a 409 horsepower variant is available and uses an electric supercharger to boost its output. Both pair with an 8-speed automatic and all-wheel drive. Although competitors offer more powerful engines beyond their turbo 6-cylinder engines, Genesis sticks with its V6, which provides ample power for daily driving without being overwhelming. The GV80 excels in its ride quality, even beating that of the X6, absorbing road imperfections smoothly. However, its handling slightly suffers in corners with minor oversteers if driven aggressively. A standout feature here is its impressive noise isolation, offering a serene cabin experience akin to that of a Mercedes Maybach, making it an attractive option for those prioritizing luxury and comfort over raw power. As for Porsche, the best powertrain is the e-Hybrid model, but it also costs $17,000 more. The base turbocharged 3-liter V6, on the other hand, is no slouch with good initial pickup and consistent torque delivery. With 348 horsepower and 368 pound-feet of torque, paired with a smooth 8-speed automatic transmission, it's a seamless setup designed for both daily drives and towing up to 7,700 pounds. But what truly sets the Cayenne apart is its handling. It's the best driving SUV in its class, offering a level of engagement that's unmatched. The steering, nearly as responsive as a 911's, connects you to the road, where optional rear steering sharpens the low-speed agility. The trade-off for the Cayenne's superior handling, however, is a noticeable stiff ride. Even with the standard adaptive suspension softest mode, more bumps come into the cabin versus the GV80 Coupe's plush ride. So, which one should you choose? Well, I think it's rather simple. If you appreciate driving engagement above all else, then the Cayenne is the one to go for. But if all you care about is luxury and you want to save some money, then the GV80 Coupe is the fantastic choice here.